One unexpected surprise from back at E3 this year was the announcement of Super Lucky's Tale, bringing one of the best received VR games from the launch of the Oculus Rift to the more conventional world of gaming on a TV. This is an Xbox One exclusive, but not only that, it is the one and only Xbox One X launch title. If you hadn't been paying attention, you might be forgiven for assuming that this is a straight-up port of Lucky's Tale from Oculus Rift. However, this is not taking that game and disentangling all of the VR wizardry from it. It is instead a brand new adventure with the same characters and world. Lucky has to set off to try and rescue his sister and the Book of Ages from the evil character known as Jinx. One thing that is instantly clear from picking up the controller is that this is not one of the most taxing 3D platformers out there, and it's a distinctly family-friendly affair. The game is incredibly bright and colourful and looks simply gorgeous in full-on 4K through the Xbox One X. It really calls back to the classic days of platforming on N64, albeit in a much higher fidelity. It might almost be a bit too chirpy and happy, with an eternal smile plastered on Lucky's face, but there is an undeniable charm to it amidst the recent 3D platformer revival. It even borrows the kind of dialogue between characters that you would have seen on N64, as a foolhardy ninja cat named Master Mittens mocks and challenges Lucky to progress through the level and reawaken the great golem that looms over the centre of the hub area. As you're reading the text, Master Mittens is happily meowing his way through the dialogue, though he thankfully avoids the annoying gibberish sound that Ukulele went with, and instead manages to have this kind of conniving and shady feeling that you might expect from a cat. Lucky feels like he runs around at a slow pace, even if watching back the footage shows that this is categorically untrue, and that feeling really helps to keep the game nice and easy to control. Lucky has a bunch of moves in his arsenal, not all of which make a huge amount of sense for a fox. He can pull a neat spin attack and bounce off an enemy's head, of course, but then there's his ability to burrow underground, letting you collect coins that have been buried under little mounds of dirt, or using this to hide from enemy attacks, only to spring out and surprise them. In terms of the actual platforming, it's not terribly challenging from this section of the game that I saw, but exploring the world and figuring out what you need to do is a joy. Our main task in this area was to bring a series of robot heads back to their bodies so that they could ring the bell and awaken the golem, and that in and of itself limited the scope of the challenge, because carrying items such as these heads slows Lucky down and means that he can't jump. Instead, this means that we're waiting on platforms to raise, lower or spin, dodging fireballs and outwitting various enemies that are slowly following you. The challenge does increase when you're not carrying a robot head and you have to battle against various enemies. There's chompy plants to stinger firing bees, and they're all quite easily stunned when you do a swiping spin attack, though you do need to follow this up with a second attack in order to make them actually disappear. With 3 hearts per life, it's got that old school vibe to it, that's for certain, though again, this demo area didn't appear to be terribly challenging. There's not a huge amount more to say about this game at this point, I feel, which is both a blessing and a curse in a way. The original game was clearly boosted by its profile of being attached to the Oculus Rift launch, and I'm sure that the same thing could happen here with the Xbox One X. Playful find themselves as the only exclusive game that is releasing alongside the console. So, no pressure guys, eh? Super Lucky's Tale might not be groundbreaking, but it is charming, it's simple fun, and boy does it look good on Xbox One X. Thanks as ever for checking out our video. We will leave you with more gameplay from Lucky's Tale. But before I leave you, please do like, subscribe and share this, that really does help us out, and we've got plenty of other Xbox One X coverage coming in the next day or two. Hopefully we will see you again soon. Goodbye!
Yeah, bye bye. Meow, meow. Meow. Meow, meow. Meow. Meow, meow. 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 Meow, meow. Meow. Meow, meow.